Welcome everybody. I am Cruz. This is the last lesson. This is episode 30. I just shot a video. I'm going in succession from talking about the stance, having the right alignment in the ichikima, so you have less problems dealing it when you shift. So in continuation with that, and the reason I want to break these down, where I could probably talk about this for an hour and 2 hours and keep it straight. I'm not trying to make it TikTok where it's like 30 seconds, but this segment where it's usually about 6 to 10 minutes long is just enough so it's the least amount of headache for me to upload this video. And that's really the reasoning behind it. So I talked about some of the woes and how to fix the initial ones where you want to retain the tension properly from the ichikima, and then so making the shift is easier for you to do. So the other challenges that you have, right? A lot of times, the next challenge is maybe 9 times out of 10 people shift, right? And they're like this. Looks okay, but what's happening? My center of gravity is actually offline. It's actually leaning back because I don't know exactly the functionality of how, when we say knees lead the motion, how to make the knees actually lead the motion. And I've talked about this a little bit in discussion before as far as getting the feel. And there's things that you want to do to it may not necessarily be the right way in the beginning, but it's a sense of doing it so you get the feel of what muscles are necessary to make the stance actually work. So as we know, as I've said before, there's always two things that happen at the same time, right? Equal opposite force to generate some kind of motion to occur. So with the shifting in itself, right? We want to, when we cheat, we try to lean on the heels and then turn with the ankles. We cheat, we try to sway with motion and turn with the hips. But we need the knees to be the main thing to not only stabilize, but also lead that motion when we shift. So imagine first, like it's hard to say, I'm turning. You're actually using both feet to actually turn. But since the feet are one foot is slightly turned in, one slightly out, what happens is this foot ends up being static and not doing anything, and then just turning your body out, you open yourself up, right? You want that sensation like you're riding on the horse, but if you do it like this and then go like this, you're no longer riding on the horse like a jockey, you're riding it like a regular person. So get to know the feel of certain things. Like if I take a step, I've mentioned this before, I don't just step and then take a step. I'm actually pushing. I push and slightly support with the right side as I take a step with the left side. Okay, so that's the functionality, that this is not just static and then I take a step. So I want you to keep that mentality in mind when you're doing the shift. When we do the shift next, right? Okay, we tend to go like this, turn, and turn, right? So I want you to feel this leg, right? Have some function between it. It can be as simple as like all of a sudden, okay, I'm gonna use this leg, right? I'm pushing, okay? So pushing, okay? See how I'm pushing to take that step? Pushing to take the step. It's not the shift, but it's just like trying to wire the brain to think, okay, this leg has to do something. Here even if I'm shifting weight, right? I'm shifting weight in order to do that, which is fine, but notice we want to get to the point where we're shifting and maintaining our center of gravity exactly in place. But I'm playing around with it because I don't fully understand the function of what the knee is supposed to do. So now I'm having that little step. Now it's like, okay, if my leg or my weight can't, shift over like that, I'm going to use this leg. I'm going to turn it. See, I'm like feeling my knee. Oh, okay, that's my ankle, right? And now I feel my knee. You see my knee? See, I'm moving my knee, getting just the feel of the knee. And now I'm going to do knee and step. Oh, okay. Knee. Okay, I feel the knee and step. See, I'm playing around with it. It's not necessarily right, but I'm like, okay, I never felt that muscle before. I never felt that joint before or whatever. I'm just playing around with it. It's like, oh, okay, knee. That feels like the knee's moving. Okay, so now I have some activity going with that. And I know this is turning already, right? So what I want to do is now, okay, if I turn this and step. Okay, this and step. Okay, I can kind of get with that. This and step. Okay. Two things are trying to happen. this instead. All right, I kind of get that now. I'm trying to feel how one leads to another. So from that point on, and when I go here, turn this leg in, right? Notice notice when I do this, I want to move this too. So how do I try to retain myself, this and turn. Wait, okay, wait. This is leading to this. Now can I do it at the same time? This together, okay? This together. Now notice I'm sinking, and it's not necessarily right, but I'm like, okay, one, then two, and I'm sinking, okay? Let me pull myself up. One and two, okay, it's still separated. One. Oh, wait, that kind of felt right. Push and turn, keep your center of gravity. Turn, okay? Turn, oh, okay, see? So what I'm trying to say in this video is that you don't have the awareness, right? You don't have the awareness of certain things when you work on drills from the arm, body, and legs, when you're doing things. So you're gonna have to play and fidget around to see, is that what my knee feels like? Is that what my elbow feels like? Is that what my shoulder feels like? Because when you work on this and you're like, wait a second, that feels like my knee. This feels like my knee. How do I get this to work together? I remember the rules of the Ichikima. Shift and turn. Okay, don't sink. I don't want to sink. Imagine I'm standing straight. Shift and turn. Oh, okay, there. I'm starting to get the feel of it again. Shift and turn. Ah, okay, now I'm starting to understand and realize, okay, that kind of feels like me. It's not that you're gonna solve that problem right away, but what I'm trying to show to you as a student, that don't be afraid to play around with different things. It's like, here's a picture. Okay, this is a picture. I'm looking at it only in this direction, but I'm gonna look at it from this direction, this direction, this direction. I won't even look at it. I'll look at it from above or below or whatever. That means be creative. Look at it and think outside the box, because how one person figures it out may be totally different than how you will figure it out. So don't be afraid to make that mistake. It doesn't have to be exactly by the book. These are simply tips and suggestions to be aware of how to exactly get to the point where you can actually shift and do it properly and control everything that you're doing. All right? So think about it, play around with it, make sure you do it naturally and don't hurt yourself from it. That's it.